Let's get to it. So, the Prime Minister has announced yesterday that we'll soon be able to download an app that'll warn you if you have been exposed to COVID-19. Trudeau said it's voluntary, and the way it works is people who test positive upload the results anonymously. And if you have the app and are nearby, you'll be alerted. So, would you use this app? Would you download it?
When I first heard about this, my first reaction was, why did this not actually come into place right when we were hit with COVID-19? 100% yes, I would download this, only because I know there are a lot of privacy issues that are associated with this, but this is a matter of privacy versus public health. I mean, this is a device that already is tracking us everywhere we go. And the apps that we have on there, I mean, I can scroll through all of them right now. At any given moment, somebody could probably hack into my phone and access my camera. With the advancement of technology that we're facing, and I mean by the hour, technology is evolving. The privacy issue for me is no longer a concern. Listen, COVID-19, as we have seen, has caused havoc across the world. This pandemic has, of course, affected our economy, our healthcare, our education. We're not even out of it. We haven't even started experiencing the aftermath. And one of the great examples that comes to my mind, and I know a lot of countries are now looking to South Korea, is they actually had this tracking system already in place because they already experienced this outbreak with MERS. And they actually implemented this technology well before any of us did. And they actually also implemented this strategy as soon as they were hit with COVID-19, and they have it all now under control. So if this is something that can prevent a future pandemic, pandemic you can't prevent, but if it can prevent the scenario that we're in right now, 100% yes.
I mean, I'm with you in many ways, Sonia, but I'm going to say that even though this is supposedly an anonymous app and voluntarily you can just choose to opt in, I mean, what tech expert is going to tell you that anything digital is truly anonymous and truly private? And here's the difference. You've got huge names behind the development of this app, and Bluetooth, Apple, Google, BlackBerry, Shopify. There's like huge tech names. And there's one thing about that information living with those companies. And there's another thing with government having your information. When I think about hacking, real risk, privacy, real risk. And also who over here, though, gets my information and what they could use it for. That actually is a distinction that matters to me. Here's the thing. Am I going to download it? I'm going to think long and hard. I'm going to let some of my friends who do work in the cybersecurity space lead the way on this. Although a lot of them are saying they're going to probably download it. They're going to check it out, make sure it's, all good. But, the one main reason I would download it is actually not for me. It's to give me a bit of security, because I do have older people in my life that I care about a lot, namely my parents. So that's what I'll be thinking about here, far more so than my own privacy.
Well, I have to say that I am highly suspicious of downloading an app that tracks my movements. I think the Prime Minister said at his press conference on Thursday that, you can just download the app and forget about it. No, I don't think so. Especially as an Indigenous woman too, having an app that follows me around is a little bit concerning. I don't think that we're at that stage yet that we need to be doing this. I mean, I have a lot more questions than answers at this point. What if you test positive for antibodies and you are asymptomatic, so you're never sick? But does that mean that you get a ding on your phone, or that people will treat you as a pariah if you are out and they have the contact tracer on your phone and they can see who's near you? I mean, I think that there's so many more other ways we can go about this, I don't think we're ready for something that's tracking our movements again. I mean, we already have all these devices, as Sonia said, we've got a lot happening already with us being watched and our movements being tracked. I don't think we're ready for this yet.
Tanya, thanks for sharing that perspective from an Indigenous woman's lens, because research has shown that data collection further oppresses the oppressed. And, you know, a small example of that, for example, would be the apps that were used by American police departments during the protests trying to identify protesters to arrest them. And many of those protesters were Black people, and they are already marginalized. So it's about how the data is collected and how it's used, and that is what is scary. Also, when we talk about, you know, these companies that are investing all kinds of money into this kind of software, if we're not trusting governments sometimes, and I understand oppressed people do not trust government, I also think we should be a little bit skeptical about what's in it for corporations. Like, are they doing it out of the goodness of their own heart, corporations, or are they using this for eventual gain down the line for whatever reasons? I think technology is great. I too am like surrounded by and trapped by technology. Sonia, like you, I have two phones, I have multiple devices. And yes, I'm probably past the point of caring about my privacy. I probably gave that up a long time ago. But I think more and more, as we're confronting all kinds of issues that are interrelated in our lives, we have to question who profits from this kind of technology, how it's shared. And if there's someone who's profiting, normally there's someone who's losing. And should we be focusing on the people who lose?
Well, let's go to John on Facebook. He wrote to us, I find it funny that people are troubled with this app and the power it gives the government, yet they all probably use Facebook and they have way more actual issues with the information they have collected. Well, John, my opinion was pretty much the same as yours coming into this topic. I was like, my phone already knows more about my soul and my likes and dislikes than I do. But I have to say, you articulate women, my goodness, this is what I love about this show. Just sitting here listening to you, I'm like, wow, that is a very good point. I hadn't considered it. Thank you for everyone who has shared something. I feel like I'm coming at this completely differently, and would only add that I think even if we did all download this app, it would be useless unless we had buy-in from everyone, because it kind of like vaccinations. Like if one person gets vaccinated, it's not going to help everyone else. So it might give you like this false sense of security. It could mean two things if you're notified. One, that there is someone near you that has COVID and you should operate moving forward with caution. Or two, you think you're safe because no one has downloaded the app and you're surrounded by COVID. So.